One of the biggest YouTubers reviewing one of the smallest indie games of all time, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him.
Tears of the Kingdom is an amazing game. From the opening, you go... to discovering Ganondorf. Shit. To him literally knowing who you are.
Zelda. You who carries that fragile sword.
Nah, bro, Ganondorf is not gonna disrespect the man sword like that. The fuck? Hey, Ganondorf, pull up, bro. Ah, shit. Okay, I don't think it's a secret that I really love this game. I've spent over 100 hours on it. It's like having McDonald's for the first time. I'm loving it. You're a fucking weirdo, bro. But I won't stand here, sit here, and pretend that it's perfect. There are things I liked and there are things that I did not like. All of which we're going to get into today. Let's go. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. Now, if you look at the footage on the right, you may notice that it's a lot more polished compared to the one on the left, indicating that it's an entirely different game. I'm joking, they're both from the same game. Fucking idiots. But believe it or not, I have seen a lot of people complain about the art style, graphics, and the controls, claiming that they're all the same. You probably like to watch your wife get fucked. But I mean, like, what were you expecting? Can you imagine if Majora's Mask after Ocarina of Time would come out playing like Pac-Man? Without fathom. So most of the complaints that I found were on Twitter. Twitter is essentially this, and all of the people on Twitter are essentially that. Trash! Coming into this game, I expected it to play exactly like Breath of the Wild, but obviously more polished. Now, gameplay-wise, obviously, they expanded on some things. Ultra Hand. The most notable change about the gameplay is definitely with the abilities. Unlike the runes from Breath of the Wild, the abilities now are way more incorporated into the game, allowing you to use them in more creative ways. Unlike Breath of the Wild, where one puzzle has to be solved a certain way, Tears of the Kingdom gives you the creativity to solve them in multiple. Now, obviously, these brand new abilities have been massively improved on. Instead of bombs, you get fuse, which allows you to fuse bombs to spears. Not recommended. Instead of Cryonis, you have Ascend, which is definitely one of my most used abilities in the game. You can go up here, up there. Instead of Stasis, you have this ability called Recall, which literally allows you to reverse time, making you feel like Thanos. Instead of Camera, you get Camera. Instead of Magnesis, you get Ultra Hand, which is a literal game-breaking mechanic. Nintendo saw all the speedrunning and decided, hey, if you want to break our game, then break our game. It is crazy what people come up with in this game. Bro built Varuta from Breath of the Wild. What the fuck? There's not much else to say about the gameplay because, like I said, it pretty much plays like Breath of the Wild, except for now you have the skydiving mechanic, and yeah. Horses were already pretty useless in Breath of the Wild because you could just fast travel to anywhere on the map. But with the addition of Ultra Hand, now they're just obsolete. To the point where, in order to unlock the Great Fairies to upgrade your armor, you need a towing harness for your horse. I guess they just felt pity, much like I did. Shout out Horse 1, 2, and wait. That was Red Dead. Oh, you knew it was coming. Now, one thing I really would have liked is if they spent less time on Ultra Hand and more time on other stuff. Because one thing that really disappointed me was enemy variety. I knew Calamity Ganon was gonna spawn these guys in, so when I saw Ganondorf, I was hoping that he'd spawn bokoblins on steroids, two-headed linos and shit. What the fuck? You go up into the Sky Islands, you'll find some new constructs. Personally, I enjoyed fighting the Guardians more. Not only were they visually appealing, but they were also really fucking scary. You go down into the dark depths, and you'll find the same enemies with just Ganondorf squirt on them. Running around Hyrule, I would have definitely enjoyed seeing a lot more enemy types, but hey, you can't have it all. Now when it comes to the boss fights, now they put some effort into that. The giant Minecraft construct boss was really fun to fight because you could really show your abilities off. I wish the game had more versions of him, not just 1, 2, and 3. Another enemy I really enjoyed fighting were the Gleeok, which are 3-headed elemental dragons that go... which are hard to fight at first, but the moment you get their pattern, they're pretty easy. Now when it comes to the normal Gleeoks, they do have the tendency to become repetitive, which is why Nintendo decided to add a 4th variant called the King Gleeok, which is a combination of the 3 elements, who's one of the best and most challenging bosses in Tears of the Kingdom. And overall, just a great addition to the game. Now when it comes to the dungeon bosses, I really like Colgera. Aside from being easy, it's one of those bosses where you can just really have fun. I really enjoyed penetrating his body. I also enjoyed fighting the Marble Goma and the Seized Construct. Albeit Master Koga's Seized Construct was a lot more fun than the 5th dungeon one, but I liked it regardless. Another one I really enjoyed was the Gloom Hands. At first I thought it was a Blood Moon, and then something grabbed me. Also, once you beat them, I really like how Phantom Ganondorf appears. This version of Ganondorf is one of my favorite designs of all time because of how you could just use a drink.
This world should be shrouded in darkness, not bathed in insufferable.
Drink water! You tell me you got all the power in the world, but you can't get a glass of water? The fuck? Oh shit. Now, I am really glad that we get to fight Phantom Ganondorf a couple times. He is slow, but he is fun to fight regardless. Now, the bosses I didn't enjoy. The Queen Gibdo, and that piece of shit mud shark. The Queen Gibdo just bombards you with normal Gibdos, and it's annoying because you have to chase Rijo around just to use her skill. The same thing with the Mud Shark. Aside from looking like the least threatening boss of all time, he's also just a piece of shit to fight. It's ironic because of how much shit he spews. But like I mentioned with Rijo earlier, the main problem with these fights are the sages. Tulin. Must I say anything else? Now Tulin is like a double-edged sword because of how good his ability is mid-air. I never knew that a gust of wind would help me out so much. But also just a piece of shit because every time he just blows my items away. Now yes, there are moments when Tulin can really save your ass, but him having a bow and arrow and parents is just more of a reason for him not to be standing anywhere near me. But you just turn him off, dude. Let me show you what that looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the visual representation of turning Tulin on and off. As you can see, we are on a sky island. Gonna be jumping down. Oh, just made sure to summon Tulin right there. And now that we're on the ground, just gonna make sure to dismiss Tulin. Okay. Oh, and since we are back midair, let me just summon him again. All right. Just gonna make sure I land safely. Just gonna make sure to quickly dismiss him. Oh, and there goes the peppers. This is why we, of course, dismiss Tulin on the ground. Yep. Now we are nearing our destination. Just gonna make sure to jump off this cliff. We are going to be needing Tulin again. We'll just summon him. Nearing our destination. Let me just make sure to land safely. Oh, and since we're on the ground, let me just dismiss Tulin again. All right. Thank you for watching this short visual representation.
Now I think the sages were heavily inspired by Elden Ring's summon ability, but a lot shittier. It's fun to think about it because Breath of the Wild set such a high standard for open world games, and then 6 years later, Tears of the Kingdom comes out, thank you Link, and just makes Breath of the Wild look like a first draft. Except for when it comes to the abilities, I feel like Breath of the Wild just did such a good job that there's just no way to beat it. I mean, Link fucking spins around, just fucking lightning everywhere, like, how do you fucking beat that? It's just really annoying to use the abilities in the game. Also, the sages, they're confused. In Elden Ring, the summons fight alongside you. In Tears of the Kingdom, they try to do that, but they act like they're conflicted between fighting alongside you and standing beside you in order for you to activate their abilities, which leads to them standing beside you at the worst possible times. They crowd the screen, make your frame rates drop, and are overall just not worth it. I get that the Elden Ring summon ability was popular, but this is just not the way to do it. They're just in the way or never there when you actually need them. They definitely did a good job expanding the world. They knew that walking around the same map could get very boring very quick, which is why they added these brand new towers that launch you to the sky, allowing you to move a lot faster and more efficiently across the world. Also allow you to reach the Sky Islands, which is a very fun addition to this game, especially since some Sky Islands have this low gravity feature, which just make you feel like... But one thing that no one saw coming are the depths. A literal second map filled with treasures like the amiibo items, which allow you to get Link's all tunics for free from the moment you first enter and get hit with that. A sort of twisted version of Hyrule, a literal upside down. What appear to be mountains in Hyrule appear to be trenches in the depths. Rivers you could swim through or fly over are now walls you can't get through. Everything you see in Hyrule is the exact opposite in the depths, except for the enemies. There's the assholes. Shrines and dungeons, oh god. Now I really enjoyed the brand new shrines. They are definitely a huge upgrade from Breath of the Wild shrines, especially since you can solve them in so many different ways. Except for the very few tutorial shrines, which feel very out of place. It being an open world game, you could be 100 hours in, discovering these shrines for the first time, and it's just really annoying. Especially since you have to actually follow the instructions of the shrines, otherwise they're just gonna reset the entire thing, which make them feel very out of place. You still have the combat shrines, which are definitely one of the most fun shrines, especially with this twist of taking away all of your items and just allowing you to use the items inside that shrine. Some shrines you don't even solve from the inside. There are these green crystals which you have to bring from point A to point B in order to solve the shrine, which can be really fun and challenging. Now, when it comes to the dungeons, probably my second biggest complaint about this game. Now, I've seen some people say that dungeons are back.
Dungeons are back.
And this is why it's actually important to play a game. These are the type of dungeons you'd see in a wannabe Zelda game. Fucking the story of Zelda or some shit like that. What the fuck? Now, on one hand, unlike the Divine Beast, these are actually theme-based. But on the other hand, they are very short and very simple to complete. They all play the same. You basically just activate 5 terminals. And same cutscenes, actually. After watching it for the second time, I just skipped the last 2. Because I was like, well... What's the point of this? I really miss the times when Zelda dungeons would take you at least an hour to complete. Some of them would really make you think, which I just did not get that feeling from Tears of the Kingdom's dungeons. Now, performance was probably one of the biggest issues about this game. That's what the f you sound like. It's not like the same Switch that you used to play Breath of the Wild on is gonna just magically improve sitting beside your TV in an old PlayStation 4 collecting dust. I don't know what the f people were expecting. It's the same fucking hardware. Chill the fuck out. I'd understand the complaints if Nintendo released a next-gen console like PlayStation and Xbox and it still played at 30 frames per second, but they didn't. But I guess in summary, I really enjoyed this game and expanded upon Hyrule from Breath of the Wild, which doesn't fail to immerse you into its world that is such fucking game critic talk. Plotlines from the first game continued beautifully. I really enjoyed the Master Koga side quest, by the way. It was definitely one of my favorite side quests in the game. Tears of the Kingdom has set a new bar when it comes to the open world genre, especially in terms of creativity. Tears of the Kingdom kicks the ball out of the park. Is that the expression? I don't fucking know. All in all, this game is a solid 4.5 out of 5. I think that is a fair rating. I had my likes, I had my dislikes. We got into it. Thank you guys for watching my first ever game review. F the sages. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam,